Here are my shorts that I've knitted, and I am at the waistline, as you can see. This is where I want to knit the double-sided rib and put an elastic through it so that the shorts are easy on and off, and so that there are no ties or cords at the waistline. So I'm going to show, we're going to work in the round this time, and of course this double-sided rib will need to make some modifications to it. So I am at the beginning of the row. This is my marker, the ring. It shows that I'm going to start a new row. So this is the first row of the double-sided rib, and I'm going to work it the same as the regular double-sided rib. So I'm going to knit one and slip the next stitch with the yarn in front. Knit one and slip the next stitch with the yarn in front. Knit one and slip the next stitch with the yarn in front. Knit one stitch and slip the one with the yarn in front. So I'm going to work the whole row. So I finished one row of double-sided rib. I'm now going to work the second row, and in this row we're going to make some modifications because we're working in the round, so we're always facing the right side of our work. So the first stitch was knit. As you can see, it has a V here underneath. And the second one has a bar underneath, so it means it was slipped with the yarn in front. So now we'll need to work, slip the ones that were knitted and purl the ones that were slipped. So this one was knitted, so we're going to slip it, but they keep our yarn at the back. So slip this one with yarn in the back, and then I'm going to purl the second one. So then again, slip the next one with yarn in the back, and then purl the one after. Slip one, yarn in the back, purl the next one. Slip the one, yarn at the back, purl the next one. So I'm going to work all the stitches in this way to have my second row of this rib. So now I have finished the second row, and I'm at the beginning of row 3. So row 3, I'm going to work exactly the same as row 1. So I'm going to knit the stitch and slip the second stitch with the yarn in front. Knit the stitch, and slip the next one with yarn in front. Knit, stitch, slip with the yarn in front, knit, slip with the yarn in front. So I'm going to continue working on the row number 3, and as you can see here, I already have some definition of my rib. It started to show. It's hard to see, it's kind of a dark yarn, but the stitches are there. It started to look more like a rib now. Okay, so I'm going to work my row 3 the same way as row number 1. Okay guys, I'm now at the row number 4, and I'm going to work it the same way as row number 2. So if you remember, what we did, we slipped the first stitch with the yarn at the back and purl the second stitch. Slip the stitch with the yarn in the back, purl the next stitch. Slip the stitch, yarn at the back, purl. So I'm going to continue working on my rib until I get about an inch height, and I show you how to finish off. So I've done my double-sided rib. So here it is. I have about an inch of the rib right at the top of my shorts. So now I am ready to cast off. I'm going to cast off the same way as for 1 by 1 rib, meaning that I'm going to knit one and purl the other stitch and repeat it all around. I still have a few stitches that I'm going to finish. And okay, here's my bind off row. So I'm going to knit one, and I'm going to have my stitches loose and purl the other stitch. Don't tighten too much, and take the one at the bottom and put it through the top one. So I'm going to knit the next stitch is knit stitch, knit one more, bind off the stitch. The next will be the purl stitch. Once I have 2 stitches on the right needle, I'm going to bind off 1 stitch. The next one is knit stitch. I'm going to knit one and bind off. The next one is purl. So I'm going to purl the stitch and bind it off. So I'm going to do this bind off for all the stitches. You can see my my ending is nice and smooth. I'm going to finish it off, this row, and I'll show you how I can insert the elastic inside this rib. So here I have my shorts. I finished the binding off row, and as you can see here, I have about an inch of the double-sided rib. So I am now going to put an elastic inside of it. In order to do that, I have my elastic here, and just a regular elastic band that you can buy at the sewing stores, or you can get it even from the Walmart stores. So I already cut the lengths, and I have some overlap here, so I counted that in. So now I'm going to kind of put my camera here, and I'm going to take a safety pin. I'm going to open it and put it inside my elastic. Just need to put it through. Then I'm going to close it. So now I have the safety pin attached to my elastic. So now I'm going to thread it inside, and I'm going to start where my row was starting, because there will be some area here where the yarn kind of went back and forth for the beginning of the row, and I want so a little bit of elastic will be visible, and I want it to be visible on the inside, so on the wrong side of the garment. So I'm going in here. I'm just getting in, and my pin is not visible on the other side, so it's straight inside that rib. So I'm just moving my pin in so that elastic travels with it. You want to pull a little bit here so that elastic really goes in. And again, you can see the elastic inside, and it is not visible on either sides of the garment. So right here I'm at the end of it, and I'm going to make sure that I'm not going to the right side of the rib. So I'm going to take my pin out of this side. and I'm going to use a needle, just a sewing needle and thread to attach, have a little bit overlap, and have this overlap kind of stay together nicely. I'm doing this just by using the whip stitch, so going from the back to the front, along the side, back to the front, back to the front. So I'm now ready to cut my thread and stretch it out. So I can push a little bit to get as much elastic hidden as I can. Stretch it a little bit. It'd still be a little bit of elastic visible on the wrong side, but it's okay. It's not visible on the right side at all. And the shorts are now kind of all stretchy waist, so they're easy to put on and off, and I'm ready to try them on. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next videos.